Today on Simple Food, Simple Life, we're going to make vegan taco meat. Hello, it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I'm going to make a recipe for taco meat. And this particular taco meat is vegan and vegetarian. We don't want to forget our vegan and vegetarian family and friends. And you know what? It's really nice to have these types of recipes in your treasure box of recipes so that you can make special dishes for them too. And you know what? I like this dish. This tastes very good to me. I have been making it for years. And as a matter of fact, I put my vegan daughter onto it many years ago, so she makes this on a regular basis. And it's very, very easy to do. And what we're going to use is, we're going to use what is known as Vital Wheat Gluten. Now, this particular brand is Bob's Red Mill brand. I don't get anything for promoting Bob's Red Mill. I just like Bob's products. So this is Vital Wheat Gluten, and what the gluten is in the grains and flours, it's separated out from that, and the gluten is actually the protein of the flour or the grain. That's a very long process, by the way, and when I first discovered it, I actually did it from scratch. I removed the gluten, and I can tell you, it's work. So this is convenient. Now then, Vital Wheat Gluten is also known as seitan, and that is spelled S-E-I-T-A-N. And on the back of the Bob's Red Mill package, you'll find some recipes for basic seitan, and also add extra gluten to your baking products in order to give them that lift and rise and elasticity that you want. So this isn't something that is from Mars. It is something that has been around for thousands of years. Okay, now I'm going to make some taco filling, and I want to show you how to do that. It's very simple, very easy, and I think you're going to get a lot out of this. And the best part is it tastes really good. You're going to be able to use this in your tacos, your chili, various other things. Okay. So, now that we know what Vital Wheat Gluten is, we're going to start with our big bowl, and when in doubt, go big. And we're going to start with 1 cup. I'm just making a smaller batch. We're going to use 1 cup of Vital Wheat Gluten. Or, after it's made, it's called seitan. Before that, it's Vital Wheat Gluten. All right, let me see if I can get you in a little closer here. Now, to this, we're going to start with just mixing our dry ingredients first. That's important, that you keep your dry ingredients and your wet ingredients separate. So here I have some taco seasoning that I made, and I think I have a video for that. I'll check that out, and if I do, I'll put a link to this. I have been making my own taco seasoning for many years. So to my 1 cup of Vital Wheat Gluten, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. Now you can increase this or decrease this if you want. It's up to you, but I think the 2 tablespoons is just right. So, and to that, I'm going to mix this up, but to that, and my taco seasoning has a little salt in it, so I would recommend that you do add some salt to that. Now you can spice this up as much as you want to. So you can see where we're at there. Now then, to this I'm going to add 1 cup of water, more or less, maybe a little bit more, but we will see when we get there. 1 cup of water, a tablespoon of liquid aminos. These are Bragg's liquid aminos. and 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. You can leave out the oil if you want to, but I think it adds a nice little texture, and it's not that much. So, all right, now here's the magic. This is where the magic happens. Now I have all of my liquids in this measuring cup, and I'm going to pour that in there, and now I'm just going to stir it. Now this will tighten up very quickly. And one thing too that I like is the liquid aminos. Not only do they add goodness to your taco meat, it also puts a beautiful color. And we're looking, excuse me, what we're looking for is that ground beef color. Now, once you get this done, you can use this for, now I'm going to get rid of my spoon because you can see I don't need it anymore. You see how that tightened up quickly and how stretchy that is? That's what gluten does. So I'm going to knead this a little bit and get it off the sides of my bowl. And it's like a dough. See how that is? That's a dough. And it will feel a little bit wet, and it's going to feel squishy. Let me get you up close there and you can see what that looks like. It almost looks ground beef-like, doesn't it already? All right, so now then, here comes the next step. Let me wash my hands because we're going to need some wax paper for this, okay? So, you know, one thing about it, I have found that a lot of people who are non-vegans and non-vegetarians who are, well, or like me, I call myself an eclectic eater because I can eat really pretty much any way. I'm fine with it. And you know what? It doesn't hurt any of us to have some meatless meals on occasion, does it? No. Okay. Let me move this stuff out of the way, and I have my wax paper here. You can also use aluminum foil, but I recommend if you use aluminum foil for this process that you use a wax paper liner. You don't have to, but that is just, that's me, that's my recommendation. Okay, now then. So now we're going to take some wax paper, and I will eventually use a double thickness, but I'm just going to start out with a nice little, length of it, you can see. And now I'm going to take my vital wheat gluten, or my taco meat, and I'm going to, it's already in a cylindrical shape here, see that? And I'm going to put it in my wax paper, and I'm going to roll it kind of like a sausage roll. And let's just take this, and I'm going to, or like a sushi roll if you guys do that kind of thing yourself. And I'm just going to roll this up. Now then, one thing that a little bit of oil does too, once this is done, it keeps it from sticking to the wax paper. Now, I'm going to, you can see how easy that was. I'm going to use another length, double up my wax paper, and just do it exactly the same way. And what this does, we're going to put this in a steam bath, and it's going to keep it in its shape. And that's going to help it cook because we want to cook this. Now, there's all kinds of ways that you can make seitan or vital wheat gluten. And so, let's see if I can twist that a little bit. This is just one of the ways. You can bake it, you can steam it, you can put it in a broth bath. And historically speaking, vital wheat gluten, or seitan, has been around for a very, very long time. let me wipe off my stove real quick. I've got a pan here. Bring it back. I've got a pan here. I'm going to turn on my burner. And I have a pan all ready to go. And what is in this is simply my little old-fashioned steamer insert, and I put some water in here. Now, ideally it would come up underneath the steamer, but you know what? Mine is just a little above. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to bring this to heat, and then I will lay my cylinder, my roll of seitan in the steam bath so that it can steam nicely. Now, this is going to steam for approximately 30 minutes or until it is firm, and that's what we're looking for. See, that just fits in there. I probably could have used a little bit bigger one, but that's no big deal. So, and this will, one thing that the wax paper does, it helps it keep its shape. Otherwise, the Vital Wheat gluten would expand even more. So I want it to keep its shape because I want a firm ground beef-like texture. So I've got my heat on high. I'm going to put my lid on, and we will be back in 30 minutes, and I will show you what we have and what your next step is. All right, my timer went off, and we're back. So I removed my seitan from the, let me move this over here, from the pan, from the steam pan, and as you can see, it still kept its shape. Now remember, when I put it in there, it was a little wonky because my pan was a little small, but that's not that big of a deal. Now, see how springy this is? That's how I know that it's done. So what I'm going to do is, very carefully, because it is hot and I have a rack here. The reason I have the rack is so that it can cool all around and not sit on a surface, and I want it to cool evenly. Let's put it like that. So I'm simply going to unwrap the seitan. One thing too, you know, this is also called monk's meat. See how it split there? The paper split and it bulged out. See what I mean by expanding? It's also called monk's meat because thousands of years ago in Japan, a group of monks did not eat meat. They ate seitan, and it was referred to as monk's meat. And they would turn the seitan into all kinds of various meats. Now, I don't call this fake meat. They didn't call it fake meat because in reality, the word meat in modern day vernacular, it means animal protein. But you know what? In those days, meat simply meant food. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Bible, but in Genesis, God created the plants and the trees, the fruit of the trees and the herbs of the field, and said to Adam and Eve, "This will be for you as meat," meaning this will be for you as food. This is hot, so I'm being very careful. I could wait till it cools off, but frankly, it is a little easier to unwrap when it's still warm. So it really keeps it from sticking to your seitan or the monk's meat. We actually refer to it as monk's meat. I like that phrase better. So that's what I call it. It's just monk's meat. And it smells really, really good. It smells like taco meat. So, very, very delicious. Actually, when you use this, you really won't be able to tell the difference in your tacos. You can use it for your tacos. You can use it for chili, taco salad, any place where you need ground meat. Now, if you don't, make sure I get everything off there. See there? Now, if you don't want to season this with taco seasoning, you don't have to. You can simply use any other kind of seasoning that you want to. Garlic, whatever your favorite hamburger seasoning is, you can use in this. Okay? All right, now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to let this cool off, and then we're going to grind it up. So, in the meantime, please like, subscribe, and share. Please share, because you know other people do need to know this stuff. And make sure that you click that little bell so that you'll get notified every time I post a new video. I try to do it pretty frequently, but you don't want to miss out, because I'm an old lady that knows stuff, okay? All right, I'm going to let this cool off. We'll be back. All right, I just want to show you what this looks like. Now, it's cooled off. I've got it cut into chunks, and I want to show you what it looks like. See what that looks like? It's spongy, flexible. I tasted a piece. It tastes perfectly fine, and it's cooked, so you can eat it just like this. But we're going to do one better. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it in a blender cup, just a little bit at a time, and we're going to blend it simply by pulsing it until it is a ground meat texture that we want. Okay? So I'm going to do that process for you. Now, I've just filled this part way up, and all I'm going to do is just pulse it until it gets the texture that I want. If you fill it up, it'll take too long. There, that looks pretty good. All right, now, see what that looks like? See what the texture is there? That's a ground beef texture. And as you're doing that, if you find any bigger chunks that are too big, just put them back in the blender and add some more to it and just chop it up. All right, now you see that texture? See that? It's like a cooked ground beef texture. And that's what we're looking for. Now, I have ready a freezer bag. And I've marked the freezer bag. Simply Monk's Meat Taco Filling. And I put the date on there. And I'm going to put this in the freezer bag, lay it flat, and then I can actually take out any portion I want to. And I can just take it out a cup at a time or however much I want. Now, you can double this recipe. You can use 2 cups of Vital Wheat gluten instead of 1. Just simply double the ingredients and you're good to go. And this tastes good. This is actually ready to eat. It's good. It's got kind of that feel of meat, that little bit of chewiness that you like. Now, when I use this, I'm going to use this in chili. I can make tacos, enchiladas. I can use this any way that I'm going to use ground beef or taco filling. The only thing is that because it is not animal protein, I treat it a little bit differently. I don't have to brown it. I don't have to drain off fat. I can literally just add this to my chili, add it to the pan, put in a little more seasoning if I want to, tomatoes, whatever I want to add to it. I can put it in my spaghetti sauce, and I don't have to go through that step of browning it. You can a little bit, but you really don't need to. It's perfectly fine like this. Now, that's it. That is monk's meat taco filling, and I will show you in the future. I will make some chili, and I will show you what that looks like. I think you'll like it. Okay? And we're going to do it with monk's meat. All right, listen. I love you. You know I do. And if I can do this, you can do it, okay? And I'll be sure and put that link down below for the taco seasoning. I do think I have a video on that. And anytime you want to have meat, you do not have to run down to the store and buy a pound of hamburger. And this is much, much cheaper. This is pennies on the dollar compared to buying a pound of ground beef. Okay? I love you. You know I do. And listen, you just remember that little is much when God is in it. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Thank you for watching Simple Food, Simple Life. Please like, subscribe, and share.